Welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the CineStill CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR scanning light source. CineStill sent me this light to review along with a care package. However, there was no exchange of money, and as with all of my reviews, they don't get to see the video before it goes live. So thank you, CineStill. I've actually been using the previous generations, the original CS-LITE, since 2023, and I've already made a review of it back then, and it's been a core part of my scanning work for 4 years, and it was great to upgrade from a drawing light table. It was definitely a huge improvement. In today's video, we're going to take a look at these new models, and what's in the box, how to use it, and how this new light compares to the original CS-LITE. And for those of you that are new here, first of all, welcome. My name is Robin Ferran. I'm a French filmmaker and photographer living on Vancouver Island, British Columbia. And on this channel, I make videos about film photography, iPhone photography, and how these two worlds meet in a real-life storytelling. So watch first, subscribe at the end if you are in that kind of thing, and let's get to it. Inside the box, you get the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR unit by itself, a USB power cable, CineStill's new Light Bright Plus collimating sheets, and 2 color calibration sheets. There are also 4 removable masks to avoid the light spilling, and 4 rubber feet. I also suggest keeping the sleeves to protect the sheets, as well as the box just to store everything in it. What exactly is SpectraCOLOR? Now, I'll be honest, I had to research this quite a bit because before seeing it on the box, I had no idea what SpectraCOLOR was. From my understanding, most light sources used for camera scanning, even the CR-LITE panels, well, they were never really designed for film scanning, right? Because they kind of spill light across a very broad spectrum, which sounds good, but in practice, it means that your camera sensors see way more color information than the film dyes were even meant to respond to, especially for C41 color negative film. With the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR, CineStill is trying to deliver a similar result that what you would get when printing in the darkroom on photo paper, for example, which was initially what film negatives were intended to be seen on. So instead of using a normal white LED, the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR uses ultra-narrow-band multispectral LEDs. That's a mouthful. These wavelengths are shaped to match how C41 dye layers respond to light and how the digital Bayer sensor on your camera, the raw sensor, separates the red, the greens, and the blue. Now, I'll try to pull up the little diagram available on the CineStill website. And so the point is to reduce the color contaminations and the crosstalk between the dye layers so that your camera raw sensors only picks up the information that actually matters. This means that instead of flooding the negative with a big wash of white light, the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR kind of targets the wavelengths needed for the proper color separations, kind of similar to what an laser printing, but kind of translated into a digital workflow. Now, I know at first it kind of sounds complicated, but let's try to think of it differently. Imagine that you have this very detailed drawing, right? And now you want to put colors into it. So the white light kind of acts like this big paint roller, and you cover everything at once. But it's kind of rough and imprecise. And then you have the SpectraCOLORs, and now the SpectraCOLORs are using 3 different brushes, and each of those brushes match the film colors layers. So instead of this very broad stroke, you get 3 precise strokes. In theory, and I did say in theory, and more on this later, but this is supposed to give you a raw scan that already feels more natural, more consistent, and easier to convert, with less of this color noise, less orange mask interference, and overall just a more predictable result across an entire roll. I've scanned about a dozen rolls with the CS-LITE so far, and I feel like I have a better understanding of this light. That being said, there was definitely a learning curve, and for me it was shaped by a lot of trial and errors, and often I had to rescan some raw films to get to the result I wanted. On the original CS-LITE, you use the remote to switch between the neutral mode, the cool mode, and the warm mode. But on the CS-LITE that remote only has a single button to turn on the light, and if you long press on it, you can actually dim the light. But I suggest to always keep it at its maximum output. So instead of using the remote to change the color temperature, on the CS-LITE we're going to use those collimating sheets that are included in the box. First, you have 2 Light Bright Plus collimating sheets. Those are the clear diffusion sheets that goes directly on top of the light. And their job is to even out the illumination across the entire surface so that your scans don't have those kind of hot spot or fall off. And you always use a Light Bright Plus, the two sheets that they give you, regardless of if you're scanning a C41, black and white, or slide film. And by the way, before first use, you do have to remove the protective layers on both of those. And I also suggest to use gloves when you're kind of like working with those. And anytime you are not working with them, put them back in the sleeve to avoid like fingerprints and scratches. Then you have the two color calibration sheets. The blue calibration sheet is for most C41 color negative films, and it helps balance the orange mask and gives you a more neutral starting point when you invert the scan. The orange one is for slide films, and it warms the light slightly and can help keep the highlights and the midtones from going wild during the conversion. Now, for some special C41 film, you might also want to use the orange calibration sheet, but we'll talk about this later. You always place the color sheet first, and on top you put the two clear ones. And you'll see that on all of those sheets there is a little notch on them. So try to align all of those either in the right upper corner or left upper corner. And then I usually use a small piece of thick paper to remove them without damaging them. Once you're done with them, I suggest to put them back in the sleeve, because if there are too many scratches or damage on those, they might actually show up on the scan. So it's something you want to keep in mind. Now, I do believe you can order extra ones on CineStill website. After that, depending on the size of your negative, you can place the mask to reduce the light spilling. Then you can adjust your camera and you're ready to start scanning. Both lights share the same size, which is great because you'll be able to use this dedicated film order like the Valor one that you may have purchased with the original CS-LITE. It will work with the new CS-LITE Plus. Now let's take a look at some scan images, and we'll start with black and white. The first thing I've noticed is that the image scan appeared a bit cooler on the CS-LITE Plus compared to the original CS-LITE, but this will not impact the final image past conversion. For most of my scan, I set my camera to ISO 200, f8 and aperture priority mode, letting the camera choose the shutter speed while monitoring the histogram. The second thing I've noticed is that the image scan with the original CS-LITE have a slightly faster shutter speed compared to the CS-LITE Plus, but that's normal. That's because the CS-LITE Plus uses narrowband LEDs that produce a lower visible luminance, but they also deliver a cleaner signal that the digital sensor can interpret much more accurately. Next was slide film. Scanning slide film was one of those main reasons why I got the initial CS-LITE in the first place. And until recently, scanning slide film was a lot of hit or miss, and honestly, it was better to just let the lab handle the scanning as well. But now we have great tools like this new light, which allows us to tackle slide film scan at home in a much more convenient way. Once again, I scanned some slides with both lights. The CS-LITE was set to warm mode, and for the CS-LITE Plus, I swapped the blue calibration sheet for the orange one. As with black and white film, the shutter speed was slightly slower on the scan with the CS-LITE Plus, but it was to be expected. The other great tool that was recently updated for scanning slide film is negativelabpro in version 3.1. Now, I already made a video about it, but in short, there is now a mode within negativelabpro specifically made for slide film, and the results are excellent. Once processed with negativelabpro, the slide images appear slightly more neutral on the scan that I made with the CS-LITE Plus compared to the original CS-LITE, so it's another advantage of this new light. Where you really start to see a big difference is with color negative film, which is good news because that's why CineStill made this new light in the first place. On the original CS-LITE, I used the cool light mode, and on the CS-LITE Plus, I set the blue calibration sheet. As for the monochrome shots, the shutter speed again is slightly slower on the CS-LITE Plus, but the light is also more diffuse and uniform. Also, you can see that the film mask is less orange even before adjusting the white balance, which is important for the next step. Now, if you are using negativelabpro to convert to negative, then you already know to adjust the white balance by using the color picker on the film mask. What's interesting is that the images scanned with the new CS-LITE Plus will actually require minimal white balance adjustment. Sometimes it's just a few points up or down of the tint slider. This is to show that even before the conversion, the CS-LITE Plus can send a much neutral color signal to the camera raw sensor. Where things became more challenging was the next step, the conversion from negative to positive using the negativelabpro plugin. Because depending on the film, I had to test a variety of settings within the plugin, like the color modes and the pre-saturation levels, to see what worked the best. Let's take a look at this image shot on Kodak Portra 160. The first version you're seeing was scanned with the previous CS-LITE, and to my eye it looks decent. Maybe there is a slight magenta lean in the shadows, but overall it's usable. When it comes to settings, I use the Noritsu color mode as well as the pre-saturation set to standard. Now, the rest of the examples were all scanned with the CS-LITE Plus SpectraCOLOR, and I tested several pre-conversion settings inside negativelabpro. I used the frontier low saturations, frontier with standard saturations, and I also used the same variation with the Noritsu color mode. Now, those settings do make a subtle difference, but none of them address the main issue you're probably noticing right now, which are the greens and the blues are way off. And by the way, this wasn't limited just to Portra stocks. I saw similar behaviors with Color Gold 200 and Color Plus, where the greens and the blue became overly intense. This meant I had to rely on more advanced sliders adjustment inside negativelabpro just to bring the scan back to something that looked like the film stock. I also tried to turn on and off the Analyze Roll feature, but it didn't really help. I don't know exactly what's happening under the hood, but my best guess is that negativelabpro color engine is expecting a much stronger orange mask, the kind you would get from the traditional LED panels. But with the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR, that mask has already been reduced, and so the channels are more balanced, but yet negativelabpro doesn't really know and kind of try to fix a problem that no longer exists. I also converted the same image with CS Negative Plus, the free tool for Adobe that CineStill released a few months ago. Now, it's definitely not as straightforward as, let's say, negativelabpro. There is definitely, once again, a learning curve, but after some adjustments, I was able to get a much more natural version of the scan. Overall, I think the main issue I've had so far is that negativelabpro doesn't always play well with the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR. I won't go too deep into this today. I'm potentially planning a separate video comparing both CS Negative Plus against negativelabpro, but in short, SpectraCOLOR and CS Negative Plus are clearly designed to work together. With specialty films like the Arman Phoenix, which has a strong purple mask instead of an orange mask, you might also have to dial down further your settings with the new CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR. To see what worked best, I scanned images of both Arman Phoenix Mark 1 and Mark 2 using the 3 color modes on the CS-LITE Plus. Then in negativelabpro, I chose the basic color mode and set the pre-saturations to low. Now, a lot of things happened there, but overall I found the most consistent results was with the orange calibration sheet for both Arman Phoenix Mark 1 and Mark 2. After using the CS-LITE Plus for about 2 months now, I can definitely say it's a step up from the previous generations, despite the fact that there is definitely a learning curve when you're using negativelabpro. However, once you are able to dial down your settings, you'll get much more consistent results across the board. It's worth noting that the CS-LITE Plus costs twice as much as the original CS-LITE, but it does come with the calibration sheets, and you can also download a free copy of the CS Negative Plus, so it's kind of like this all-in-one solution. And by the way, you don't need a CS-LITE scanning light to use the plugin. It also supports conversion presets for other lights. So the golden question is, should you get the new CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR? I think it depends on your workflow and if you are happy with your current scanning light. The previous CS-LITE was already the scanning light I would recommend to anyone starting their film scanning journey, as it was the most affordable light with excellent quality for just $40. Now, if you are mainly shooting and scanning monochrome films, then I think that the original CS-LITE is still an excellent and very affordable choice. But if you want the most accurate, consistent color for the C41 color negative, then I definitely think that the CS-LITE SpectraCOLOR is a very good upgrade. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. Again, I want to thank CineStill for sending me this unit over, and also to give me the full freedom to share my honest thoughts. If you want to see how the CS Negative Plus conversion tool works, let me know in the comments below. Thanks again for watching. I hope you got something out of this video. And if you did, please like and subscribe to help this channel grow. And I'll see you next time. Bye for now.